we're talking consistency still. Now let's look at the performance structure. Now, when you are a company, you're expected to perform, but what are the performance components? Performance has 4 different components to it. The first thing that we need to understand, in order for us to be consistent, in order for us to know what we need to build on, is that we have a performance structure. What is that? That is our intelligence, our different types of intelligence. Some people have the IQ, they have the linguistic and the mathematics and the scientific. Some people are creative. Now, in marketing, you use a lot of creative intelligence, right? That will be your understanding of how colors and how visuals impact people, move people to be able to make decisions that are in line with the outcomes that you're wanting to achieve. So your emotional intelligence, your personality, your physical state. Now, when you're in sales, your personality can either be an attribute that helps you to be successful, or it can hinder you. And if you don't understand what your personality is and how it sometimes can stand in the way of you being able to convert sales successfully, you will find that you don't reach as much, or you don't reach the level of success that you can reach. So we need to understand these 4 aspects: physical state, as far as my health, as far as sharpness of my mind, my brain, as far as my energy is concerned. If you are in a high-performance environment, of which both marketing and sales are, it's important that you be mindful of your physical state, as far as even the things that you're eating, the food that you're eating, your weight, and all of that. But anyway, that's a whole other story altogether. The second part of our performance is the functional potential. What does that consist of? This consists of our abilities, which are the activities that we have to perform. Now, in sales, what activities are you supposed to perform on a daily basis? One of the questions that I always ask companies and executives and people that are in sales, how many activities that you're supposed to do per day are you not doing? If you're not being consistent with the activities you're supposed to do, then you're not going to succeed. The more you perform your activities, the more you improve your capacity, which is how much you're able to do, because you become better at it. The more you improve your competence, which is how well can you do what you can do. And the more you can improve your fitness, which is the energy, the strength, the endurance, the flexibility, the agility to navigate obstacles and emergencies as you're performing the work you're performing. And then lastly, adjustability, which is about adjusting to the changing climate. Now, right now with COVID-19, a lot has changed in terms of marketing, in terms of even training. Like even this morning as we're talking, no longer do I need to fly to Pakistan, for example, to come and give this kind of short training. But we can do it. I can do it in the comfort of my own home, and then you do it in the comfort of your own offices. A lot has changed. So if you cannot adjust to the changing climate, you're going to find yourself regressing. And the only way that you can adjust to the changing climate is if you improve your performance structure, the skills, the knowledge, the tools, the resources that you require to be able to be sharp. So I'm encouraging you this morning to continue to do what you're doing so that you can have more of these kind of celebrations in the future. The third thing is the functional compatibility. Functional compatibility talks not only to the activities that we do, but also the potential that is presented in the environment that we're part of, the infrastructure that we are using, the access, the proximity to that infrastructure, but not only that, but also the quality of that infrastructure. Now, it is extremely important if you're going to be a high performer and you're going to be able to achieve certain things to ensure that you equip yourself with the right type of infrastructure. Not get into a client when your laptop is flat. That's not reaching your potential. That's a weak link in the chain of success. And of course, your own growth. So there's the issue of the competencies, your skills and tools and resources, and then there's the issue of the environment itself, the opportunities that are in the environment. With your current services, being in the hygiene and health industry, what are some of the changing aspects of the climate that you're part of? What are some of the adjustments that you've got to make to the skills and the tools and resources that you are using to ensure that you don't fall behind of the change? And then the last thing about performance which is external, is that there is the outcome. There's the purpose, which is the reason why we are there, and there's the outcome, which is what we need to achieve to be able to achieve the purpose. What do we need to achieve to be able to fulfill the purpose? And that has national activities, the process, and the laws. And quickly, I want to close off with this for us. These are the 3 aspects of consistency in performance. Practice, discipline, and patience, PDP. Practice, discipline, and patience. Practicing the activities, discipline, the laws that you put yourself under in order for you to be able to achieve what you want. Patience, the attitude that you've got to have, the mindset that you've got to have to be able to succeed. What do you practice? There are regular activities. There are systematic ways that we do things. There is an issue of time. There are issues of measure. If we don't practice, we don't get better. We always hear the term practice makes perfect. But I believe in what Les Brown says. Les Brown says practice makes improvement. Yeah, so practice makes better. In other words, practice makes us better. It's not about perfectionism, but it is about being an excellentist. What does that mean? Being obsessed with excellence. You know, what is excellence? Excellence is doing my best every time, but my best every time is desperately dependent on what my structure of performance is. So if my best every time is going to improve, it also means that I have to improve my structure of performance. I've got to improve my knowledge. I've got to work on my personal development. I've got to work on my emotional intelligence. I've got to work on my relationship skills with people. If you're in marketing and sales, you have to have a very strong, comprehensive, concise, precise knowledge of how people think, what influences people, the three elements, the three pillars of influence: relationship, position, and credibility. That you have to know what all those aspects are, because that's vital in convincing, in persuading people, in drawing people to you, in making sure that people don't miss the product, the service that you have to offer. Secondly, discipline. Discipline here is that not only do I do certain regular activities, but I have a schedule. I have personal commitment to the things I'm supposed to do, the sales calls I've got to make, the administration that I've got to do, the following up on clients on certain time as I promised them to do so, without being committed and restraining yourself from being distracted. I mean, I was reading the other day that the average human being spends 2.5 hours per day browsing the social media trend. What that basically translates into, if you're calculating in working years over the lifetime of a person's working life, that translates to almost 3 years, 3 years worth of working hours. 3 years worth of working hours that you are spending, that an average person spends on social media. And by the way, Asia's at the top, the Philippines being at 3.5 hours. I don't remember where Pakistan is. But discipline is about accountability. And accountability is about subjecting yourself to those laws, scheduling according to those laws, committing according to the laws, and restraining yourself to ensure that you do what you're supposed to do. And then lastly is patience, which is about delaying gratification. In sales, because we're moving and it's fast and we want incentives and certain things, we can rush ourselves so much that we skip certain steps because we just want to get to that point of closing that sale. But the thing is that for us to be able to close sales faster, for us to have powerful marketing campaigns, we have to improve our performance structure. We've got to know what skills are required for us to really be at the top of the game in the industry. Now, if you're sitting there right now, you're going to ask yourself, how much of my time every day is dedicated to making me sharp as a tool, to making me efficient as a tool? Not just effective. Effectiveness is about getting things done and getting them done well. But efficiency is about getting things done well in the best way possible, in the shortest time possible, for the best results with the least amount of effort. The least amount of effort, shortest time possible, best methods that are available for the best results. If you're not doing anything on a daily basis in this highly competitive, ever-changing climate of marketing and the hygienic space and the global markets, you're going to find yourself regressing. You're going to find yourself falling behind, because information, change, information, escalation of knowledge is doubling every 3 years. Knowledge is doubling every 3 years, which means that our clients are becoming smarter every 3 years. Their intelligence, their level of knowledge is doubling up every 2 years, every 3 years. So if you're working in the same job for the last 10 years, you still have the same degree. You've not done any personal development in line with what you want to do. My friend, you are stagnating, and stagnation is regress. Stagnation is regress. When you're stagnant, when everything else is moving forward, you are falling behind. You're not just remaining, but you are actually falling behind. Things are progressively moving and escalating at a very fast rate. So, emotional intelligence, endurance, and always being mindful of the outcome. That's the attitude that we're going to have, the mindset we're going to have. And what are mindsets? I describe mindsets as the following: structured categories of thoughts that lead to a specific outcome. Categories of thinking that lead to a specific outcome. And the outcome becomes whether you are aware of it or not. And if you are not aware of the purpose, then the outcome is dependent on the default settings. And in short, that's what I was thinking this morning about motivating you guys to continue to do what you're doing, but also to do something a little bit more to ensure that you become the sharpest tool in the toolbox, to become the brightest mind, the most intelligent mind, the highly efficient people, and the best skills available in the industry, so that you can stay in the market, so that you can continue to fly high at a global space. Sarah, that's my